Hi there, welcome to Women Blazing Trails. My name is Eva. If you are new to the channel, this is a very random channel. We do a lot of how-tos. We talk about very different stuff. How to become a freelance writer, how to leave your country, how to become an expat, how to make mouthwash. I mean, we talk about really random shit here. So if that's something that interests you, then go ahead and click the subscribe button and the notifications alert. But forewarning, I do like to kind of swear sometimes. I drop some F-bombs every now and again. So if that's not your thing, if you're not really into some crazy woman over 50 swearing in your face, then this might not be the channel for you. But if you don't really care about that, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Today we're actually talking about something a little bit more serious today. We are talking about how to leave an abusive relationship. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, or you feel like maybe you need to hear this video, then stick around, hit the subscribe button, the notifications alert, and we're going to get to something a little bit more serious today. So let's go. Hi there. So before we get talking about leaving an abusive relationship, I first want to clarify something. I don't really want to talk about physical or sexual abuse because I totally understand that sometimes it's a little trickier to leave those types of relationships because the victim, woman or man, can possibly fear for their life, the safety of themselves or their children or their family members. So if you are in a situation like that where you feel that your life may be in danger, or your children's life or your family, please do get help. Like, try to find a member of a police officer, I'm at a loss for words here, a police officer or somebody in a legal position that can help you, or a shelter. Please get help if you are in that situation, because nobody should live like that, should be in fear for their lives ever. So if you are in that situation, please get help. But so today we're talking about other abuse. We're talking about emotional abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse, being bullied, that kind of stuff. A lot of people, when I left my abusive relationship, that for me, it was probably, I think it was like 7 years ago now. For me, it's been that long. And mine was verbal, emotional, mental, that kind of abuse, bullying, narcissistic, dealing with narcissistic behavior, that kind of stuff. And one of the questions that we get asked a lot, people like myself, male or female, and I get that this is a channel for women over 50, men can listen to it, but sometimes men are abused as well. It's not always just about women. But people ask us, well, how come you stayed so long? How come you didn't leave sooner? How come? Why not? And people don't, if you've never been in an abusive relationship or an abusive situation, people don't understand that it's not easy to just say, wake up one morning and go, you know what, Henry, you're a douchebag and I'm packing my shit and I'm leaving. It's not that easy to do that. And a lot of the times when we're at that stage where the abuse has become so overwhelmingly toxic and harmful to us, when we're at that stage, we have lost all our self-confidence, our self-respect, our self-esteem. We have no self-worth. We don't have any self-confidence. We don't have anything. We are like, when you finally get to that stage, you're just like a shell of a human being. Like, there's nothing left to you. And people don't understand that when we get to that point, that we're just scared little children. We have nothing. Most of us don't have anything to our name. We don't have a job. We don't have any money. We don't have any belongings. We have nowhere to go. Like, we're just lost, scared little human beings. And people don't understand that. They go, oh, well, why didn't you just leave? Well, imagine a 3-year-old packing his teddy bear and running away from home, because that's what it's like. You kind of feel like a child, and you would be running away from home, and you don't know where you're running to because you have nowhere to run to. You have nothing. So for many of us, so people don't quite understand when they say, why don't you leave? It's not that easy to leave. It's really not that easy to leave an abusive relationship. So when you are in an abusive relationship, and we are mostly just talking about mental, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, being bullied, being controlled, being with a narcissist, that kind of stuff. Our partner has completely, how could I explain it? So like, you don't own anything from here down. Like, you are at your partner's mercy. How they say jump, you say how high. You have no voice anymore. We're just scared, and we're just like, so for me, it was like, I kind of felt like I have nowhere to go. I have no job. I had just declared bankruptcy. I had no money. Like, I literally had nothing, when I left my relationship. And it's a very, very, very scary thing to do. But when I got the last maybe 3 to 6 months before I actually finally left, like, I was scared out of my tree. And many times, because we, as the abused person, we feel helpless. We feel like losers. We feel like, well, I'm just a big fat failure, and what am I going to do? And nobody's going to want me, and I have nowhere to go, and I don't know what I'm doing, and my life is a fucking disaster. And what, if I leave him or her or whatever, then what's next for me? Can it get any worse? And then we start talking, well, it can't get any worse, and so I might as well just stay. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. That's a really, really big excuse that a lot of us use. It's not that bad. Yeah, some days he's okay. I can handle it. That whatever bullshit that I have to put up with, it's not that bad. And we eventually convince ourselves, oh, it's not that bad. And we just keep being this zombie, this yes sir, no sir, how high sir person for our partner. But that's no way to live. I mean, that's not what you're here for. And if you are, for those of you that are watching, if you are in that kind of relationship right now where you're like just the shell of a human being, and your partner is just, being a bully and being a control freak, and you pretty much are just a shell of a person, then if you can't talk to your partner, trust me, I am no relationship expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not going to give you relationship advice. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to, what I really, really want to do mostly, I think for the most part, is that for people that are in relationships like that, like, you don't have to live like that. Like, you shouldn't live like that. We are here for happiness. Like, this is the only life that we have. You don't get another shot at life. You don't have another chance. Like, when you die, besides the afterlife, when you die, you don't come back to earth and get a whole new, it's not like you push a reset button, you can start life all over again. This is the only life that you have to live, and you're not here to live a life of misery. You're not here to be controlled like a puppet. You're not here to be disrespected and shit on. Like, you're not here for any of that. So if that's the kind of life that you're living right now, like with your partner, then either try to have a talk with them and let them know that this is how they're treating you, this is unacceptable, and you don't want to live like this anymore. Will they change? Can you go to counseling? Suggest counseling. Like, if you can make it to counseling and you can save your relationship, and your partner can possibly work on improving him or herself, then kudos to you, man. Then do that. But if you've exhausted all of those resources, counseling didn't work, talking to them didn't work, and you're still just going through the motions day after day, then it's time to leave. Like, I'm sorry, but it's time to go. Like, don't You don't deserve to live like that. Like, that's not what you're here for. You're not here to be miserable. You're not here to be treated with disrespect, or like a doormat, or like not loved. Like, you're just not. That's not what we're here for. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are worthy. You are smart enough. You are good enough. You are enough of everything. You are. You are a beautiful human being, and you are a beautiful gift from God. And you should not be letting anybody disrespect you, or treat you with disrespect, or treat you like shit. Nobody has the right to treat you like shit, ever. It doesn't matter if they say I love you. Well, if they say they love you and then they treat you like shit, then they don't fucking love you. They're just used to you and being able to treat you like shit. So that's not love. Like, that's not love. Maybe they love the way you cook, and they love the way you keep the house clean, and they love a bunch of other things about you, but love isn't being shit on, and being disrespected, and being bullied, and being controlled, and being mentally, verbally, or emotionally abused. That's not love. So if that's what you're going through right now, I want you to take a really long, hard look at your life. So this is kind of, I know I might kind of be jumping all over the place, but things just keep popping up in my head, and I'm sharing them as they come. So sorry if I'm kind of all over, but that's just kind of how I talk, like I think. So I remember when I was in my relationship, and it was almost 8 years, and the last 3 years were horrible. In the last 3 years, I kept thinking, how am I going to leave? How am I going to do this? He's not getting better. We actually tried counseling, and that lasted I think we went for 2 sessions. It was brutal. So for me, because I had no money. I had just declared bankruptcy. I didn't have a job. I literally had nothing. So I was really, really afraid. But I had gotten to the point for me in my relationship, I was 51, I think. Yeah, I think I was 51 years old. And we had this ridiculous fight. It was Easter Sunday, and we had this ridiculous fight about something that was absolutely stupid. And he stormed out of the house, didn't even, we were having Easter dinner at our house that Sunday, and he stormed out, and all the guests arrived, and he didn't show up till 9:30 at dinner. We were already done, and he showed up at 9:30 at night, and it was horrible. But I mean, there was much more to the relationship than that fight, but that was actually the catalyst. When I went to bed that night and I slept in the spare room, I thought, you know what, I'm done. I just can't. I just can't do this anymore. I was so emotionally empty and drained and exhausted. And I was so numb. I just felt, for me, it was I felt almost robotic, not a human being anymore. And it's hard to explain. You almost have to know what that feels like to understand how I'm trying to, you feel like a robot. You feel yeah, no, whatever, okay, sure, yes, over there. That's how you feel. You feel almost robotic, because there's nothing left inside of you. And that's the point that I had got to. And when I got to that point, like I said, I was 52 years old, and I thought, you know what, I don't care what's going to happen to me after this, but I can't do this anymore. My life can't, if I stay here with this person, my life is going to be like this and just keep getting worse. And I just can't do this anymore. I couldn't do this anymore. I thought, I'm only 52. I was 51 or 52. I'm still young. I can still, figure shit out. I can make things work. I don't care. I gotta go. I have to go. My entire being was just sobbing. And that's kind of, like that's kind of how you feel. Like your entire existence is sobbing hysterically. Like it's so broken and it's so sad. Like every ounce of you is just crying, and talking to you and saying, please help us, please help us, please help us. Like you feel that in your soul and you feel that in every ounce of you. So if you're there, or if you've been there, or if you are on your way there, then it's time to leave. And yeah, it's scary. So I want to talk a little bit about leaving. So when I decided to leave, and as I said, I had nothing, I had to find a job. I had to find money for an apartment because I had no money. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any belongings because when I moved in with my ex, I like donated and sold and got rid of all of my things. So I owned my clothes and I had a canary. Like that's basically all I had, and a car. So I had to like do a lot of scrambling, make a lot of phone calls, call friends, call family members. I'm leaving, I'm moving. I need, can somebody help me find belongings? I put out a shout out on Facebook. Hi, my friends, I call for help. So it's very, very scary to leave. It really is. And I did mine. So I did the whole Dear John letter. I wrote a letter. This is how I'm feeling. I'm done. We're done. I'm leaving. This is it. And, we talked the next day and it was done. So I had a few weeks to gather some things, find a job, find an apartment, find money and all that stuff before I actually left the house. So you have to always know, and you have to always have faith that things are going to work out for you. Things are going to work out for you when you're leaving. If you are leaving like I did with nothing, you have to just, sometimes you got to swallow your pride and you got to suck it up and call people and say, hey, I'm really, really stuck and I really need your help. Can you help me, please? The people that want to help you, that can help you, will help you. The people that won't, and that's okay. Let them fall to the wayside. It doesn't matter. Maybe they can't help you with the specific thing that you're asking for right now, but maybe in 2 or 3 months or 4 months, they can help you with something else. So there is always going to be somebody to help you with something. And if you can't find family members or friends, reach out to different agencies. There are, emergency shelters, emergency fund agencies. There's all kinds of help. You can go to your local church. I mean, honestly, there is help. If you want it bad enough and if you look hard enough, you will find help. You will, I promise you. You're not going to be stranded on the street with nothing. So you have to just, sometimes you have to swallow your pride. Sometimes you have to ask for help from people that you don't really want to ask for help from. But I think the bottom line here is that you have to have faith. Like when I was leaving my relationship, that's all I had. Like I had nothing left to me. I had no belongings, no money, no job. Besides the fact that I had no self-confidence, no self-esteem, self-worth, self-respect, self-anything, I had a teeny tiny little bit of faith and hope that things are going to be okay. Like I knew that they couldn't get any worse than what I was living through with my ex. They could only get better. Things could only get better. And I knew that if I had decided to stay with him, oh my God, I can't even imagine where I would be right now. That's horrifying. But it wouldn't have got any better. So you have to believe that things can only get better and you have to have faith. Reach out to the people that can help you. And sometimes you have to take jobs that you don't really want to take to survive. And I'm not saying that you have to go and prostitute or, I don't know, please don't do that. I'm not saying you have to do that. Please don't. I'll send you money. But if you have to go work at McDonald's, if you have to go work at the local whatever store, you do what you got to do to make money so you can survive, so you can be happier. And you have to, I think the biggest thing for me in taking that really, really scary leap of faith was that I had to believe and convince myself that the universe has my back. Things are always working out for me. Like I said that a million times a day. Things are always working out for me. The universe has my back. Things are going to be okay. It's going to be okay, Eva. You did the right thing. That's a huge affirmation. You have to remind yourself that you are doing the right thing. This is the right thing. Leaving this abusive relationship is the right thing, and it is the best thing you will ever do in your entire life. Honest to God, it really is, and you have to believe that. So you have to, I did a lot of self-talk. The universe has my back. Things are always working out for me. This is the right move. Things are going to be okay. It's going to work out. Things are going to be okay. So I did that, and I did that all day, every day, and I just kept doing that, and I kept doing that. And you'll see that the universe is going to hear you, and they're going to go, oh yeah, you are doing the right thing. And we see you need a little bit of assistance. So I'm going to send some friends and some angels down to help you. So I want you to believe that. Like, I really need you to believe. I just can't stress that enough. I really need you to believe that things are going to be better and things are going to work out for you. You need to understand that things are going to work out. How you're living right now, if you are being verbally, emotionally, mentally abused or bullied or controlled, or you have a narcissistic partner, this is not the life that you're here to live. It's not. That's not why you're here. So you're here for great things. You're here for a greater life. You're here for joy and happiness and bliss and real love and respect and all of that stuff. So if that's not what you're getting now in the relationship that you're in, and you've been thinking about leaving, like, seriously, just go. Like, just go. Don't worry about your partner. That's not the life that you need to worry about. You need to worry about your own life. No matter how old you are, if you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s, like, do you want to spend the next 20, 30, 40 years living like that? No, you don't. Don't you want to be happy? Like, I feel like you want to be happy. So if you've been thinking about leaving, if it's been on your mind, if counseling hasn't worked, or you want to try and talk to your partner one more time, whatever the case may be, then maybe it's time to leave. And if you are leaving with nothing, then start taking the steps to get a job, make some connections, contact some people to help you, that kind of stuff. Like, go ahead and do that. Start getting the ball rolling. And then, if you're already at that stage where you're ready to leave, then I'm sure your partner already knows that your relationship is horrible anyway. So leaving an abusive relationship takes a great, great, great leap of faith. And it takes a lot of balls, and it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of self-talk. An awful lot of self-talk. I spent a year talking to myself. But yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's scary. It's terrifying, actually. It's not scary. It's fucking terrifying. It is. I'm not going to lie. It is terrifying. It's liberating. It's beautiful. It's freeing. It's like you have the chance to totally reinvent your entire existence and live life the way you want to live your life, and be happy the way you want to be happy. And it's all about that. So anyway, I think, without making this, it's already kind of long and convoluted. And I think the bottom line for me and the main message for me that that I really, really want to share, that I feel is the most important message to share in all of this, is not like, oh, you should leave your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I mean, if you're in an abusive relationship and it's not getting any better, then yeah, you should. But I think the main message is that you're here for happiness. Like, you deserve to be treated like gold. You deserve to be treated with respect, and you deserve a life of happiness, inner peace, freedom, joy in abundance, abundant joy, love, all of that stuff. That's what you're here for. And if you're not living that life right now, then it's up to you. It's up to you, babe, to make the changes, the necessary changes that you need to make, that you know you need to make. It's up to you to make all those changes so that you can live the life that you want and the life that you deserve, which is the life of ridiculous, crazy fucking joy, peace, happiness, freedom, abundance, and all of that stuff. It's up to you to create that life. So if that's not what you're living now, take the steps. You need to take the steps. And my final word on that is, this is the only life you have. This is the only chance you have to live the life that you want, the life of your dreams, and the life that you desire. So if you're not living that life right now, it's up to you to create it and to make the necessary changes that you need to make to live that life. And if that means leaving your abusive relationship, obviously, then it's time. So that was a pretty deep subject. I really just feel like I needed to talk about that. I was talking about this the other day with somebody, and I don't know how it came up, and I thought, I think I want to do a video on that, because people think it's easy to leave an abusive relationship, and it's not. And a lot of people stay in abusive relationships because they think, oh, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's not that bad. Well, it's not that bad, but it's not that great. So do you want to stay in it's not that bad for another 30 years and be fucking miserable? I don't think you do. And you don't deserve that. So, okay. So that's all I got for you. Sorry, really, really deep subject today, but I really just wanted to share that. I feel like somebody needed to hear that, and I hope it resonates with some of you. So we don't always get this serious on this channel, but please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you know somebody that needs to see this video, please share it with them, and maybe it can help them a little bit. Share it out, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I love you. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to sign off from now from beautiful Guatemala, and I will see you all back here again soon. Bye for now. I love you.